Hello there, morons! It is Victor, King of the Morons, on the Gimmeabreakman channel with a G-News video. These are videos in which I teach a little bit of Japanese and touch upon current events that are happening here in Japan. Today's topic is about one of the most overused words in the media and in society, and that is racism. So before we continue, let me put on my racist hat. You ready? Here we go. There we go, getting racist for you. Getting all nice and hot and racist. Woo! But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is my racist hat, and you will see why this is so racist in a few minutes. And if you're just not outraged by this hat, then there's something wrong with you. Okay, so ANA, which is Air Nippon Airways, put out a commercial, a 30-second commercial, TV spot, last Saturday, and it's supposedly a two-part commercial, part one, part two. I like those kind of series, by the way. Those are always fun to watch. And in the commercial, two Japanese, of course, are looking out the window, and they're pilots, they're dressed as pilots. Of course, they're not really pirates. One of them is Nishimura, he's an actor. The other guy is a guy named Bakarism. That's his stage name, of course. Baka means stupid. I think it's a Japanized version of ism, some stupidisms, Bakarism. And they're both dressed as pilots, and they're speaking in English and looking out the window, and they're talking about how Japan is changing and isn't it great, and the taller guy says to the little guy, says, you want a hug? Since Japan is really changing, do you want a hug? And the little guy looks up like, shocked, and the big guy says, typical Japanese reaction. And then they say, the little guy says, we should change Japan. But when he says this, he's wearing a blonde wig and a big plastic prosthetic nose. I like saying the word prosthetic. Big pointy nose. Okay, so that's it. Then they walk off into the sunset and kind of romantic, and that's it. And of course, as soon as they made this commercial, people just got all up in their Twitters and Facebooks and started bitching about how this is racist. Now, maybe I'm wrong. It's quite possible. I am a moron after all, but I don't quite see how that's racist. And maybe I misunderstand the proper meaning of the word racism, because for me, being racist is not pointing out differences or even making fun of people's differences, which this is, in a comical and exaggerated way, but actually acting on those differences and saying, oh, I'm not going to hire you because you're white or black or Hispanic or female or Jewish or whatever it is, for whatever reason, right? Anyway, you get the point. But people are just crying racism all over the internet. And there's two articles that came out on this, and one of them basically a translation of the Japanese. There's two articles, one in Japanese, one in English, which I for my own study and for my students, I teach here in Japan. I've downloaded them and looked at the differences. Kind of interesting. In the English one, they quote a young lady, I assume she's young, named Angela Fukutome, an ex-JET student who claims on her page that she is a Bible-believing Christian. Which, personally, alone, this is on the sidebar, that makes me kind of just wary alone. But anyway, but she says, I've just seen the new Anna advert. Really? Anna, you think this is okay? Okay, that's one. You know what? I think it's okay. Personally, I'm not offended. Maybe because I'm not white. I don't have blonde hair and a big nose. Well, it's kind of big, but not the way it was in that commercial. I don't really think it's offensive or racist. But I think the director or the advert company made the mistake of targeting. How do I say this? They had a great idea. They thought, this will be funny. This will be the punchline. He says this, and he'll be wearing this stuff, and it'll indicate that we're becoming more international by becoming blonde hair and blue eye, blonde hair and big nose. But I think it kind of detracts from the message, because you might be thinking, yeah, what's the point? Yeah, from what I just told you, you can't even tell what the point is. The point is that ANA is beefing up their international flights, flying out of Japan, and they wanted to just tell people that through this commercial. But I don't really get that from the commercial at all. If they want to internationalize better, I think the let's hug, the awkward feeling of let's hug was more effective, and maybe follow it up with something else. I don't think the nose actually added anything to the conveying of that message. But anyway, I don't think it's offensive at the same time, personally. Another person on Twitter, which is I'm only mentioning these because they're quoted in the newspaper article, is if you are a foreigner and have planned to come to Japan, do not choose an openly racist airline like ANA. Watch the Japanese commercial. Again, first of all, I got a sidebar here. ANA is a wonderful airline. If you've ever flown ANA, they are It's a really comfortable. The seats are great, cushy. Even like, of course, I fly commercial. I mean, look at me. Come on. You know, I don't fly first class, but it's really comfortable, and they give you all the beer you can drink. But I try not to indulge myself too much while I'm flying. But anyway, it's a great airline, so I think it's kind of, if you do come to Japan, I highly recommend ANA if you can afford it. They're often a little bit more expensive than other airlines, but it's a really good airline. Anyway, I'm not offended, and I hate to say this, but I want to say, which I think is going to be construed as racism, that because of what has happened in history with whites and other races, whites being in the racially violently dominant position of capitalizing on their how do I say this? They have been the evildoers in the past, and as a result of exploiting other races, I don't think they have much right to claim that something like this is racist. Okay, we don't have to create laws protecting white people. It's true. I mean, you don't. It's never been necessary. They pretty much get whatever they want. You might be thinking, Victor, aren't you white? Well, yeah. Some people. Here's the thing. This is the funny thing, and this is true. If you talk to my family, you'll get these answers. People, I won't mention who exactly. There are people in my family who claim that we are white. My family, right? But when I walk, and other people who claim we are not, we're Hispanic, which of course is not a race. But anyway, I'm a dark guy. I'm a dark brown skin guy. But when I walk out in the street in America, people always ask me, "Where are you from?" Not always, but often. I shouldn't say always. Don't want to condemn all of America, but I often get the question, "Where are you from?" And I'll say, "I'm from New York. I'm from Florida. I'm from Colorado, whatever." But it's not uncommon that I get the question, "Where are you really from? I mean, what's your ethnic background?" Now, of course, that is not exactly racist either. But there have been cases where I have been called dirty Cuban, dirty Puerto Rican, dirty Mexican, depending on which part of the country I'm from. But I've never been insulted that way in Japan. I have been told to go back to my country once, but that was by my own wife, and we were having a fight, and it was in the heat of the moment. It wasn't because of my race. I think she was just pissed off because of something. Well, other story. But yeah, that's a little bit different. Did I get off the subject here? Yes, racism. What is it? White people don't have it really right. Yes. So this is not racism, I think, but maybe I'm wrong. What do you think? Is it possible to be racist against white people? That's really my question. Like this. Now, this is not the only time this has happened in Japan. Back in June of 2008, I believe, SoftBank, a cell carrier, a mobile phone carrier here provider, created a video, created a commercial showing a monkey campaigning and holding up the sign "Change," which was which reminded people, or was, well, what's the word? It was playing on the fact that at the same time in America, Obama was running for president, and was also that was his campaign promise, of course, change, right? And so people were very offended because Obama is half black, or black if you prefer to say he's just black. And of course, in America, you cannot call black people monkeys because it's a big no-no because of various historical reasons. But in Japan, it's completely different. In Japan, the monkey is more of a respected animal, and we look up to it. It's one of the 12 Chinese zodiac animals. And actually, I talked about this last week. There is a monkey that went missing, a boss monkey named Benz, like Mercedes-Benz, who lives up in Takisaki Mountain, who recently disappeared, and the Japanese have decided to give him a farewell party. They're actually having a party to honor this monkey, and they're actually having a formal inauguration to inaugurate the number 2 monkey, who is going to be the new boss monkey. So as you can see, monkeys are treated differently. You would never hear about anyone throwing a monkey party. Maybe a gorilla or something because they're a little cool, they're a little cuter or whatever, but you get the point. That was 2008. In 2013, Toshiba put out a commercial with a similar theme of a Japanese, this time a Japanese woman, wearing a blonde wig and a big nose, and the commercial is selling Sui Panda, which is I believe it's a bread machine or something. But it got a lot of flack as well, and that commercial was eventually pulled, just like the Anna commercial, which was recently pulled. You do often see commercials in Japan featuring foreigners, and they often have these silly accents, really strong accents. And if anything, though, it's the commercial depicts foreigners as people who have come to Japan to teach people something. There's one of a woman who's she's doing laundry or something, and she's come to Japan to teach people how to do laundry better. And everyone just loves her new soap that she's holding. Anyway, tell me what you think. Do you think white people can be discriminated against? And is it racism? And last thing, the lesson for today, 人種差別 is racism, kujou is complaint, and also monku is complaint. So these are, and henken is another word for racism. I'll put these in the description as well for those of you who are studying Japanese. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name is Victor. Give me a breakman, give me a flakeman, king of the morons. Thanks for watching. Please support the video by, you know what to do. Talk to you guys soon.